Alright, welcome back to Remnant from the Ashes. I've gone ahead and I've rolled a Corsus run in adventure mode, and I came across this particular little gem. So I'm going to record this. Once that's recorded, pause the video, go to the dungeon, pick up the recording if it's a new dungeon, you know the drill. Yago, Darin, Nakgo, one by one I've lost all of them to this Iskal woman. One by one they changed. Speaking only of enlightenment and harmony and sharing the burden, before they too join the Iskal. They are no longer themselves, they barely speak, and when they do, it's like someone has drugged them. She assures me that they are at peace now, joining one in mind and purpose, even as she beckons me in their meeting. I will not join them, I do not trust her. Others who have joined have since left. The village is practically barren, and those of us who have resisted bear a greater burden than ever. Do these Iskal clones not eat? I wonder. I've been going to her meetings, not because I believe her, but because I'm worried about my friends, about the village. It's a bunch of motivational nonsense. Charges no currency, neither for the meetings nor joining the Iskal. On the surface, it seems beneficent, but I've seen what they have become. I fear something much darker is at work here. They're gone, Yargo, Darin, Nakko. They are no longer at the meetings. She tells me they are on a journey of enlightenment. But I don't believe her. The Iskal is one, yes? So what journey need be taken by individuals? But what has become of them? The village has collapsed. Goth, owner of the last general store, joined the Iskal last week, and yesterday, what fields remained were ravaged by the swamp creatures. There's no living here anymore. Most have given in and joined the Iskal. A few like me are leaving. Too few. Swamp creatures have grown bolder and more numerous. I doubt anyone can make it to the next village. How did she survive, the Iskal woman? I'm going to find out. I'm going to try and find my friends. Probably I will die, but there's nothing here for me now. The creatures, they're not... It's them. Know me. Call me Micken. The Iskal is. So, yeah, we know the Iskal are the villagers transformed by the Ricksworm, but that's just a horrible realization by one of the villagers after the fact. Hey, what are you doing there? Making noise. Being annoying. Yeah, okay. Huh. So, yeah, that's 100% confirms that his scream, oh, for crying out loud, actually summons other creatures, because this place was absolutely empty before I made sure it was absolutely empty before I started reading. Anyway, I'm going to pause the video. Yeah, I know.
It's over.
So that I can get to the next dungeon and hopefully find something interesting to watch. I'll see you guys in a minute. Okay, welcome back. We found another book, so I'm going to read that for you. But I also wanted to point out we have been picking up these, the hardened iron. Incredibly strong and surprisingly light. Folks don't believe it, but once used stuff to make tanks that fly. It doesn't seem right, but whatever. So this is our last normal resource until we to upgrade our equipment. Anyway, we also picked up another trait called Tormentor by setting somebody on fire for a length of time. Anyway, it was just a lark. We went to the precious moon thinking we'd have some crazy stories to tell about brainwashed morons and the Iskal. I think Micken and the others probably came away with just that, but I found something else. She spoke to me. It was like she knew me, my troubles, my worries. You don't need to face it alone, she said. Friends are a strength, but there will always be a separation. How true is that? No matter how close we are, they have never fully understood me. I'm not sure they can, yet she does, or I think she could. I'm going back again. I haven't told the others. They just say, Darren's moping again or something. They wouldn't understand. I'm not even sure I do yet. That's Darren's fall to the Iskal. That rhymed, unintentionally. But we've also found the entrance to the next dungeon. Should be, yep, up here. We also faced off against a new enemy. I'm hoping he makes an appearance in the dungeon. That's a big dude with a skull for a face wrapped inside some tentacles. I set him on fire. That's how I got the Tormentor trait. Anyway, let's see what we got. I'm gonna do one video for probably 2 runs of each adventure. And then, that's not what I want. And then we're gonna do a, go back to Yesha, do an adventure in Yesha, finish a story in Yesha, do an adventure in Yesha, Drowned Trench. So this place is pretty much more of the same. And then we're gonna do the boss of the main game, and then we're gonna do the DLC, which is Rysum, and then we'll do the final boss of the game. Yeah, unfortunately, I have mixed feelings about this. So, the final boss of the main game completes the story of the main game. The original reason why the player leaves their village, and goes to heads towards the tower. That completes that. It completes that whole story, but it doesn't complete the story of the ward itself. Yeah, okay, maybe that was a bad idea. The DLC does that. And you get a final boss that gives you a fairly satisfying ending, because we're still missing some facts. We're still missing some information, although you can probably guess what we're missing, because it's not that hard to figure out. Ooh, Simulacra. It's not even hiding in a corner or anything, it's just sitting here. So the interesting thing about the really interesting thing about those creatures, besides the fact that they like to hang out in corners, is they have a... Oh!
That's all you got.
Hit everybody? Doesn't sound like it. Yeah. This thing on the top of their head that looks like a mask. Looks like almost like a real person's face.
Ooh, that was rough.
But when they look up, and of course they close their wings around themselves so that they kind of look like just a person wearing a mask and a cloak. And so it's very disconcerting when they all of a sudden their real head lifts up. And they spread their cloak out to reveal it's actually wings. It's a really good monster design because it is creepy as shit. And it fits the Iskal monstrosities very well.
Stay down!
Yeah, we gotta put more points in handling. If you max out handling, it just stays like this. You can pull the trigger all you want, and it's a laser beam. So it makes hitting people in the face easier. Am I getting off track? Probably. Where are we? I have gotten a little turned around. I apologize. Aha. Ooh, purple. See, I knew I was going the right direction. Burden of the devoted.
And stay down!
All damage dealt by wearer is reduced by 15%. 50% healthy. Healing applies to allies. Once you join the Iskal will protect you. The Vixworm cares for its own. Huh. I feel like we found something that similar to that doesn't nerf our... gives us better healing and doesn't nerf our damage, but I might be wrong. You know, playing this game for the first time, especially, you know, if they catch you coming around a corner, these creatures are absolutely terrifying. Once you know their patterns and how to handle them, it's kind of like any Dark Souls enemy or boss. They're not that bad. Of course, it doesn't help if you flip and miss them.
That's all you got!
I do love the flamethrower effect. Okay. Oh, I set myself on fire. So his weak point is on his back, so he's almost impossible to... It's that little sack thingy hanging... So that's the Vixworm, actually. We've seen that in some of the other... Yep. With the mangled villager, you see the enemy, they kind of have that sack on the back of their head. It's
That was rough.
wrapping around their face. Yeah, that's a Vixworm. Or Vixworm, excuse me. There's no R. And they just move so creepily.
Yeah!
Bye now. Alright. Another one? I don't know what those things are called. Oh. Just a straight dead end. There's something akin to like imposter bugs. That's not their name. I honestly don't know their name. I wonder if there's a bestiary somewhere floating around. But that's it for this area. Now we move on to the boss fight. So because this is the Swamps of Corsus DLC, we have extra options for bosses. Corsus was one of the areas that got they essentially ran out of time with. Mire Hollow. Is this the thing, the wall monster? Nope. It's the giant tentacle monster instead. Gross. Oh, I'm gonna hit this fight already. Damn it!
Who's next?
Canker the Skullcracker. So, this is actually less interesting than I thought it was going to be. It's just kind of a disappointment, actually. The Slime Vessel. The swamp recognizes that which is not its own and rejects that which rejects itself. Huh. So, that was less interesting than I thought it would be. You just stand on the side and shoot him until he dies. No second phase, nothing like that. Deal with a couple of ads. That's not a great showing, guys. I gotta say. But it does remind me of Brother Canker from the buggy mess, but delightfully twisted Vampire Masquerade Bloodlines. If you haven't played it, I recommend it, especially with the mods, the fan-made mods and patches that are available. Brother Canker is a completely insane preacher in a sewer, and it gives you one of the greatest dialogue options I've ever heard, which is while he's espousing his nonsense, you get to look at him and go, "Oh, I get it. You're out of your goddamn mind." Anyway, we have ourselves a slightly newer world location and someone to talk to, which is...
Back, abomination! I want none of this!
Hello. I think this is the first clear look we get at someone who is not infected.
You are not of my kin.
Get that right.
Never seen your kind before.
I'm from another world.
Another world? You mean there is life beyond this wretched rock? Matters not. I doubt I will live to see it. How long do I have before I am taken? Moments. Ages. Oh, she will find me.
You mean the queen?
I will fall. Cessnia. She calls herself queen and claims to be our guiding light. My kin were deceived into embracing the Iskal. A curse worse than death It devoured my kin from the inside, turned them into horrid husks. Many of us fled rather than embrace the Iskal. But we have fallen. One by one. So for now I hide, until I am found. It is comforting in a way, to learn there are worlds beyond this one. May the Iskal never find them. If you have supplies, I'm always willing to trade. I do not venture far from this place. It would please me greatly to see what you have brought from beyond our world. I also possess a cure for the Iskal Vixworm, if you desire it. Oh, it has saved me more than once.
So, when you talk to the Queen, if you encounter her in a passive mode, you get the option to take the Vixworm. And it changes the game a little bit, but not by much. I think it makes some slight changes to your stats. But it slowly kills you. So she has a cure for it. So if you've taken it, you can actually cure yourself. What is the Iskal?
Iskal is a disease. A
In case you didn't
hive
know.
mind parasite. The Vixworm. It transforms flesh into scales and shell until nothing of the host remains. Cessna, the Queen, told us the Iskal would enlighten our kin. But it has doomed us all.
Why did Cessna bring the Iskal?
I wish I knew. Our kin were thriving. We were on the brink of marvelous design. Then Cessna came, preaching spiritual unity and a greater purpose. She said only through Iskal would we reach our destiny. Many believed her. They're all gone now.
Why does Cessna want to kill you?
Cessna's charming words drew zealots to her. Her influence spread Iskal to our noblest kin. Soon, the remaining few who refused the Iskal were sentenced to death. I had no choice but to flee. Make no mistake, the Iskal brings us no unity or enlightenment.
Okay,
Wishes to devour us all.
how are you still alive?
When I fled, I hid here, among our dead. I discovered that my kin claimed by the Iskal dare not come here. Perhaps there is something left of them in those husks, keeping abominations from sullying this hallowed ground. I do not believe even Cessna could step foot here now. I have nourishment if you need it.
Let's see what she has.
It is not much to taste, but it will keep your eyes sharp.
Neutralizes the parasite effect. Beetle extract increases stamina regen by 20 per second. Lasts 60 minutes. Will stay in effect after death. However, that's pretty good, actually. We're going to take that. Mostly because I'm going to collect stuff.
Evil is all around us.
But the question is, where is it? Is it a ring? What is a ring? Once the Vixworm takes hold, it seeks more and more blood and can never be sated. Yep. So, this is kind of the dangers of cults. In this case, a little more literal than anything else, because it's not only did her kin join the cult, but they also were given a parasite that takes over their body and mind. Anyway, I gotta pause. I think I know who the boss is, but I'm not sure. But we'll find out when I get there. Real quick, I found another piece of writing. To the officials of Wrath Village, I'm writing concerning the recent meetings of the so-called Iskal that have been taking place in the Precious Moon Tavern. As you continue to allow these meetings, I can only assume you're unaware of the danger they present to our community. These meetings are led by a strange woman who speaks directly to the minds of our young. She entices the vulnerable to come forward, promising freedom from worry by teaching only freedom from work. My eldest, Yogo, has been obsessed with Iskal. It is all he will speak of. He no longer helps or hunts around the house. Mark my words, the village will suffer if we do not take a stand now. Sincerely, a concerned citizen. What does that look like to you? If I'm right, this is where I want it to be. So, one of the biggest frustrations players expressed with the game was that while the Iskal Queen is clearly evil, we can't do anything to her. You can't even shoot her. She just laughs at you. No, I'm serious. If you try to shoot her in the face, she'll just sit there and laugh. What was that? Carry on. So this is what they did with the Swamps of Corsus DLC. Is they gave us this new dungeon and our opportunity to fight and kill the Iskal Queen. That is, of course, assuming we can survive the trip through the dungeon.
Oh, it's over.
Anyway, this all looks the same pretty much, so I'm going to pause and pick it up when we get to the boss. Okay, so this has been a bit of a disappointment. So we missed a key, or we did not get the opportunity to have a key spawn for us. And this is the treasure room and ultimately the end of the dungeon. There's an amulet, some simulacra, nothing in there. There's a path up there which we can't get to, and a bunch of luminite crystals. So I'm gonna call this dungeon done. The world boss is gonna be Ixillis again. I'm gonna be recording it, but because we're gonna do the not Lord 13, because we're gonna do the other way to kill him, which is one at a time. But I wouldn't blame you if you didn't watch it and skip to the next video. We'll pick back up on Yesha. So if you're sticking around, I'll see you in a minute. All right, before we enter the ancient span and fight the Ixillis again, we did pick up something. The rusted amulet reduced stamina cost by 80%, but increased armor encumbrance by 25%. Rusted chunk of metal hangs from a chain considering its fragile condition. There's no telling how long this thing has been lost to disrepair. Let down your burdens and carry the yoke of the Iskal. I think that's everything. Yep. That's all we've picked up. So, I'm annoyed, but what are you going to do? I've also upgraded the Dragon Heart by 1, and I've almost maxed out our assault rifle. And sadly, you can't skip these scenes. That's okay. We'll skip him real fast. Theoretically. The fastest way to lose this run is to fall off the edge. Or just stop paying attention and get yourself killed. Lovely. Crap. That is a nice change up that they've given us, where the enemy one of the enemies backs off to give us a little bit of breathing room, as opposed to having to deal with like a
Damn it!
ooh, that hurt and would have knocked us off the edge. Here we go. One down. crap. Don't want that corrosion to go into full effect. If we can avoid it. Ow! Okay, we're gonna run away and heal real fast. If I can. Here we go. Good. Okay. Oh, come on! Oh, well, that was embarrassing. But anyway, we got the Hive Stone.
So,
A single life can be easily snuffed out like a candle. The Hive, however, is an inferno. It gives us a powerful weapon. This is the other Ixillis drop. Yeah, anyway, that's going to be the end of this particular adventure run. In the next video, we'll pick up in Yesha and finish out that story section. I'm actually kind of excited because Yesha actually has some really cool puzzles and some pretty cool boss fights. So I'll see you guys later.